Alright guys, we don't have much time here. If you watched the reveal video, I hope you guys are super stoked on the 2017 FZ07. I am. So yeah, we don't have a whole lot of time. We probably got about 20 minutes or so of sunlight left. I've literally put like 10 miles on this bike, maybe 20 miles at the most, since I've had it. And I got so excited to leave the house that yes, this bike is legal right now. I totally forgot to put the tag on it. Don't be like me. So alright, let's hop on her. She sounds so good. Oh, that parallel twin, man, I'm telling you what, these bikes are hard to beat. The sound of a parallel twin, like, just sounds so good. Triples sound great too. Inline 4s sound amazing too. V4s, everything sounds, they all have their own unique sound. And this bike, to me, the parallel twin, just sounds like a mean V8. Just sounds so good. ABS, listen up. So weird. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy that ABS. I think I'm gonna pull the fuse on the ABS. I will say, coming from a sport bike, the first thing I notice on this bike is the steering is very, like, I don't know, it's like heavy. It's almost like it fights you at low speeds, but once you get up to speed, it feels good. So here we go. Alright, first wheelie out of the way. I gotta say, it's hard to see anything with these stinking mirrors in my way when I pop a wheelie. But I will say this bike, for one, just sounds absolutely amazing. The sound is one thing, but the power it actually puts out, like, I'm so used to my 750. My 750 is like a rocket compared to this thing. But it does pull very hard, and I know these bikes are meant to have a lot of low-end torque. But it honestly, like, all through the rev range, even at 5,000 RPMs, I pull on it and it wants to go. If I'm at, say, 8,000 RPMs, I pull it and it wants to go. This place is, like, notorious for having deer in the evening, so I'm gonna try to play it kind of cool here. I gotta get used to the corner. I just don't trust these tires. These tires are absolute garbage, in my opinion. Woohoo! Wheelies are just stupid easy on this freaking bike. Heather's gonna learn how to wheelie on this bike. Mark my words. Like I said, I don't really like these tires, and I'm not gonna push it too hard, but I can get a little bit of feel for the lean angle on this thing. And honestly, like, this bike just feels like a really overpowered ROM. Everything about it, like, it's just like a naked, very simple bike. It's fun, and it's cheap fun. I mean, even if you were to buy this bike, just say brand new, MSRP is like $7,100. I don't think you can find another bike out there that's going to give you as much enjoyment as this bike for $7,000. And I will compare it all day to my KLX300 SM, because that bike MSRP is at $6,000, which is only $1,000 less than this 700cc parallel twin cross-plane engine. So yeah, I mean, bang for your buck. I would say 100% a bike like this, it's a lot of, I guess I would say it's a lot of power for a new rider, but for someone who feels like somewhat experienced, if you've ever ridden dirt bikes or anything like that, I feel like this bike would not be too much power for somebody like that. I feel like it could also be like a first starter bike. This bike is very forgiving, I guess, in its power and performance. It's not like a stupid fast bike where you're gonna hit 100 miles an hour in first or second gear. It's somewhat forgiving. It's not super fast. I want to say they top out at like 120, 130, somewhere around there. They don't go super fast. But I will say, like, so there was 3 things that I really disliked about the KLX300 SM. And please don't try to like hate me for this, but these were the things that I complained about it even when I owned the bike. Okay, it had no gear indicator, which I didn't really, it's not a deal breaker, but it's convenient to have a gear indicator, right? Especially if you're riding track or things like that. A fuel gauge, an actual fuel gauge. The KLX 300 does not have that. I did add on a gear indicator onto that bike, which fixed that problem, but still no fuel gauge. You want to just have a fuel light that would come on when you were like, say, at like a half a gallon of fuel, which means you got 20-30 miles to go. Where if you haven't ridden the bike in 2 weeks and you hop on it, you have no idea how much gas it has in it unless you open the tank and physically look, which to me is just kind of a con. So fuel gauge, gear indicator, and the third thing that was my biggest complaint was the size of the tank. It was a 2-gallon tank. It got 65 miles per gallon. This bike, they say, I think 56 miles per gallon, which is very, very good for a bike that is this much fun. Like my 750, I think gets like 35, maybe 35, 40. But on the track, it gets probably like 25. It's ridiculous. So yeah, so this bike has a 3.7 gallon tank, if I'm not mistaken, and it gets safe. Even if it gets 50 miles per gallon, that's almost 200 miles per tank that you can go. And you look down here and bam, gear indicator. You look over here, bam, you got your fuel gauge. You hop on the bike and it's like, okay, I got 3 bars left, I got half a tank. You hop on the bike, I got all 4 bars. I got a full tank of fun and enjoyment. Hop on the bike and it's on empty. You know you need to get gas at some point. Probably that day would be a good idea. Unless you're like me and I just drive the bike or truck until it is nearly out of gas, which Heather absolutely hates me for that. I wouldn't say she hates me for that, but she definitely is not a fan of me riding until my truck says 0 miles till empty. What a beautiful sunset. You guys probably can't appreciate that on the GoPro because yeah, it looks probably distorted and whatnot. But yes, absolutely beautiful. The weather down here in Florida is mint right now. I think it's like 73 degrees. We just got a cool front and it feels so good. And I'm so excited to be on a new bike. Like, I loved the KLX 300 SM, absolutely. But trust me when I say this, when you fall out of love with a bike, it's just time to get something new. And it's not, sometimes it's not like your passion for riding hasn't died. It may just be like your passion for that, hey, a Z125. Your passion for that bike in particular may have died. And I feel like that's what happened with the KLX 300 SM. Like I said, I'm not hating on the bike. I had a lot of fun on it. It was a great bike. I never had any issues with it whatsoever. But I just kind of like fell out of love with it. In the end, it just came down to, I just didn't really enjoy riding the bike that much. And who knows, that could happen with this bike in a year or two too. But I don't really see it happening with this bike because, for one, it wheelies like so easy. It's just absolutely insane. This bike is, if I were to compare this bike to any other bike that I've ridden, I would say it's like a tame GSX-R 750. And I know some people will blast me for that because it's a parallel twin compared to a inline 4, but it has a lot of the same like power characteristics. Like, you pull on the throttle in this thing and it just goes. It's not gonna go to 150 plus, but it goes. Like, enough to pull you back on the bike. So yeah, I would say, honestly, it's like having my 750, but in like a more ergonomical, like comfortable package, really. Oh, another thing I wanted to talk about is insurance. So my KLX 300 SM, I believe was like $22 to insure a month. Well, lo and behold, I went and swapped insurance to this bike instead. This bike actually happens to be $21 a month, which to me is like kind of a no-brainer. Like, you don't have to have motorcycle insurance in Florida, and I know some of you that will blow your mind, and I'm not going to get into that right now, but you don't actually have to have motorcycle insurance in Florida. I know, it's wild, right? But for $21 a month, I mean, come on. If I'm parked at Home Depot and I come out and somebody stole my bike or ran over my bike, like, boom, I'm getting paid. It's just, you know, it's good to have, especially if you're riding the bike outside of the track. Alright, we're gonna end this video here soon. I'm gonna try a stand-up. Like, probably shouldn't do this right now. Like, I said I was gonna take it easy. But I just want to try one stand-up, alright? Third gear. I'll go in third gear just to be safe. And yeah, we'll just see what happens, alright? So... I don't particularly like wheeling when there's cars around and things, just because anything can happen. I don't want to be responsible for anything that happens to anyone else. If it's on me, it's one thing, but if it's on somebody else, yeah, I'm not cool with that. So we'll find a spot that there's nobody at, and we'll try a stand-up. Alright, we're gonna keep her low, keep her safe. Got that rear peg down. Let's see what she can do. Oh man, that was smooth. Oh man, I'm gonna have so much fun on this bike. Alright guys, peace out. Thanks for watching. Ride safe. I forget even how I end my videos right now. I'm having so much fun. Alright guys, peace out, ride safe, and we'll see you in the next video.